Welcome back to Sailing Optimist. If you want to see like my daily updates, it's Sailing Optimist 95. But I thought I'm just going to pick up the camera and document what it's like to live on a boat full time in the UK whilst holding down a full-time little business that I have. And yeah, welcome to my crazy life. I'm now on a mooring buoy, which like is great. Like you save money, and my partner has been deployed and he's gone. I'm now a full-time dog dad. And I'm living on a boat on a mooring buoy, which is difficult, especially when I have a full-time job. It is fine. I'm very, very fortunate to do this. But I got back to the boat this morning and I left it 2 days ago because the weather's been poor. So I just stayed off the boat. Got back, I left the batteries. So we've been off grid now for 40, 50, 60, 18 days, and which is pretty good. And the battery I left on 56%. Annoyingly, my Lynx shunt has like cut the batteries off. So like the fridge has been off, etc. But it's great because the cool box fridge holds its temperature. So I'm running the engine to somewhat charge it, and I've kind of like budgeted for 1 or 2 Marinas a month just to recharge and like fill up the water tanks. So I'm now doing that tonight. We had all the gas lines replaced on the boat, which is ideal. And last night I went to La Crue. Is it La Croute? La Cruche? La Cloute? Where my fancy mugs are from. I don't care what people say. If I'm living on a boat, I am not drinking out of tinned cups. We have these like cool like La Crusette. Anyway, love the teapot. Splashed out. There's an outlet store near me and got it. And it's beautiful. This channel is not about scrimping and saving. I work very, very hard so Optimist can be the best home possible. So this in the front here is my Total Cool fridge freezer. So my front cabin on this boat is basically a storeroom. I've got my cushions for upstairs, I've got the spinnaker and the fridge. So I had a fridge on the boat, one that came with Optimist, and it's original, so it's like 30 years old. It was so inefficient, and also because it's built into the worktop, there was never like a proper seal, so it used to freeze over all the time. So I used to have to like take the ice off, and last time I was doing it, I was getting the ice off with a knife, wasn't paying attention, and I pierced through the coolant plate, or the gas came out, so that was like £300–400 to fix. I had this freezer in the front cabin, which basically I stored ice in for gin and tonics. So I turned it back into a fridge, and it's like super efficient. It runs on like 20 watts on eco mode, which is nothing. It's 55 litres, and it's now my fridge. And I don't think I'm going to go back to the countertop fridge. What I'd like to do is put in a chest fridge, because I do have some storage space that I don't necessarily utilise properly. And I think a fridge would work really nicely in there. And then this one will become redundant again, and I might use it as a freezer. Archie likes to think that we're going to the BACH. He's actually staring at it. It feels a bit mean, but I can't stop. We're on a time limit. I've got to go to work. Just arrived at Northern Marina. I've not actually been here for a good like 6–7 months. Love it, the showers are great, but we have just plugged in to the mains. So we have 1300 watts going in, charging the batteries. Honestly, that's why I like going to Marina for the night, because you get free electricity, so you might as well make the most of it. So I charge everything, like batteries, laptops, camera gear, make the most of it. And I'm so excited because as much as I love whatever this is called, coffee, great, but I have missed my trusty Smeg coffee machine, and I'm excited to be able to use that today. I might actually make one now. Spin a minute and use the air fryer. Oh, we have power. The top of this is actually airtight. It's got a sill, so like it keeps the beans nice and fresh. Excited. I feel like after 8 years in the hospitality world, I am definitely a coffee snob, and that's okay. I put my hands up. One thing I am definitely a snob about is coffee. Whew, that's strong. There's probably like 4 shots in that, but it's delicious. I've actually got to go to work now, so I don't know if I'll take you with me or not. Thankfully, it's only like a 20-minute walk from here to a client's. So I think me and Archie will go for a walk. Over time, a lot of Optimist bulbs have like broken. They're really hard to find a replacement. And I was just on Amazon and I looked at these like 12-volt sticky LED lights that fit perfectly around the circumference of the saloon and the cabin. And it's a game changer. They dim. And yeah, it just adds like this really like classy ambience to Optimist. Another thing that I did actually was I got my friend to rip out the nav desk, which I know people might be like, oh, what about navigation? Well, I have a giant saloon table. I have 2 Axiom Pro chart plotters, and I know how to manually navigate with charts, and I still do that, and I still plot, especially when I'm doing long distance sails. So like we got the saloon area and the table. Didn't necessarily utilize the nav desk, so we have turned it into a extension of the galley because the galley is so small on Optimist, and it works wonders. I can fit my beach table under it. Oh, air fryer, I have missed. That was not cleaned. We're back. Some chicken. So I'm very fortunate that I get to travel the entire world for my job, and I found myself in America quite often for like boat shows and things like that. And one thing I've fallen in love with is cold brew coffee. And like, you can go to Starbucks and occasionally they'll have it. So I've decided to make my own. It's so simple. I got this jug from Amazon, and you fill it up with water, put coffee granules, but like the ground powder form in here, and let it ferment in the fridge for like 12 hours, 24 hours. The longer you ferment, the better it tastes. And it's honestly the most delicious, smooth coffee you'll ever drink. So this is my drinking tap. And under here is my Revive water system, which filters 5-part filtration system, including UV light, for my tank water. I have to say it was super simple to fit because I didn't actually fit it, but it's literally just a plug play, wire in the 12-volt UV light, which draws nothing, and then it filters all your water. It's delicious. Lasts about 6 months to filters, and you got to replace them, but worth every single penny. So it's Revive water systems. I'll put a link in the bio. Good morning. Archie is just having his breakfast, aren't you, Archie? So the bed is made. Honestly, this cabin is the main reason why I bought the boat, because it's so big. Literally, I can walk around both sides of the island bed, have access to my wardrobe, which is actually quite tidy for once. I've got like a little vanity thing here, storage over here, and then obviously the rest of the boat. Living on a boat, we go through quite a lot of water, and it's something that I have to be conscious about, especially when I'm staying on here full time. Or we store, from memory, like 260 litres of water, or 280 litres. Under the bed here is a huge tank that I had to take out at one point and weld with my friend because it split. A disaster. But we have no like electronic modern way of monitoring our water usage. This is what I have to go off. And this tells me how much water I have left in my tank. At the moment, I've got maybe like a quarter of a tank. It's also the same with my fuel. My fuel gauge is, again, from like the 1800s. So you just got to be aware of these things. Literally as simple as it is to fill up the boat, you literally just chuck a hose into the water hole in the deck and it fills up. We're off to meet my friend. Archie is extremely excited to get off the boat. It's been a long day for him and we're actually going to work at the same time. So yeah, I've packed all of our bags, Archie's got his dinner. Let's go. Good morning, another beautiful day. Oh my gosh, it's so sunny. Let me just adjust that. So we're at 96% battery. It's not bad. That's 4% in a 24-hour period of time of like using Starlink and coffee machines and pumps, etc., which I think is pretty good. And by the time I motor to the beach, we top back up to 100% again. And that is the beauty of like having such a big battery bank and like just being slightly frugal. But yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful that I had all this equipment fitted by Hudson Marine, who are wonderful. And yeah, it's just changed my life, literally, how making living on a boat so much more enjoyable. So I have like this little knot thing that I tie. Like I have this like little knot snuffer thing that I tie, and then in a second I'll release it and it goes over the front and it takes the bounce out the chain, so it just makes it a little bit more comfortable when you're at anchor. But this is home for the next maybe 2 or 3 days. Oh, and that's Archie in the background that I can hear. We're just leaving Optimist and taking Archie for his morning wee, and maybe to play with the ball. It's his favourite thing to do, and I think he's busting, bless him. But we'll get there, he's so excited. This is Archie's idea of paradise. He spends as much of his time here playing with the ball, but this is probably the best beach in the entirety of the UK. Isn't that right, Archie? Archie's going for a poo. There's a lovely lady who fixed my previous spray hood, and she's a seamstress and she travels and she's super cool. And she actually made these cockpit cushions for me for like 350 quid with materials, which is insane. And they look so good and they're so comfy, and it like just finishes off the cockpit, I think. There's still so much work that needs to get done to Optimist, but little by little we are getting there. But the best thing about having the new spray hood, because it's so hot today, is rolling down the central panel to let some air through at anchor, so we're gonna do that now. It just allows such nice air through at anchor. It makes it so much more enjoyable when it's hot. Also, what do you think of the colour? So we've gone for this like beige tan, and the boot strap down the side of the boat, which is blue, will also go to that colour. So we've made the boat a lot more neutral, and I think it just highlights like the wood, and it just makes everything tie in. We've got the oyster UV strip on the sails. Yeah, I think she's looking good. So Johnny usually makes the banana bread, but he's obviously not here. And I've got 2 very, very ripe bananas I don't want to waste, so I thought I'd give it a go. Baking is not my strong point. On the Clipper race, they used to call me the master baker. I used to be really good. I just haven't done it for ages. So I'm gonna give it a go. I'm not very good at measuring or following any recipe, but I've got the ingredients, so let's do this. Give it a go. How much is in this bag? I think we survived evolution without any recipes, so a bit of this. Oh, that's a splash. Oh, that's baking. I have made something that resembles cake, banana, bread, batter. But I feel like runny cake is good. It could be full of moisture. Very moist, but I think it looks quite cool. Try and cook it in the world's worst oven. I have enough hope that I'm not wasting probably an hour's worth of gas. That is going to turn out well. So set a timer for 1 hour. Woo! Look at that. Not what I expected. It's crumbly. Ooh, so good. So it is the end of the weekend. I was gonna have a barbecue, but instead I'm gonna cook the burgers on the hob. I'm just being lazy because it's a lot of work to have a barbecue for one. But it's been a really nice weekend, having friends over, and I hope you got some like insight as to what it's like to live on the boat full time. And like working, and I know I didn't film everything, but like tomorrow is hectic. It's Monday, it's crazy, and next week is just full on. I think it's like 6 days filming every single day for clients, which is great. I can't complain in this economy, but yeah, if you did enjoy this, let me know. Please leave a comment, because it's a lot to film, especially as I do it for a living. I'm picking up the camera in my spare time. I used to dread it, but I'm going to try and do it more because I think it's important, just to show there is like a normal side of living on a boat, and that it doesn't have to be sailing the Caribbean and Mediterranean. Like if your dream is to live on a boat and you are stuck in a place where you still got to work, like it is possible. It's just a lot of compromising and things are hard. Boat life isn't easy. But if you enjoyed it, yeah, subscribe, leave a comment, and if it goes down well, I'll make another one and maybe release it weekly. Who knows? But for now, I hope you all had a lovely weekend, and thank you for watching.